welcome to America 2.0. I'd like to talk to you about Russian sanctions and Russia pulling from the petrodollar. That's right. Russia just pulled from the petrodollar. I'm pretty sure they didn't pull all the money, but they just pulled a large sum, and that's why our economy pretty much just dropped 634 points on Monday. That, the sanctions and everything else going on. This one I got from Discover TV, January 15th, 2015. You know, everyone says that the financial analysis of 2015 will be the year the economy finally crashes. OPEC publicly stated has kept production low in oil to destroy the Russian economy. Well, they didn't say it with those exact words, obviously, but they kept it low to give aid to other developing European nations and to help reset the ruble and everything else. I mean, what exactly do you think they're going to say? You know, oh yeah, we're doing this because we hate Russia. Oh, no. Well, Russia's pulled out of the U.S.-led petrodollar, unsealed an $88 billion reserve fund that it had set up to boost and acquire rubles. And it's the country's last efforts to stem from the worst crisis in 17 years for Russia. Remember my story? This was 6 years for us in 2008, something like that. Since I don't know exactly what month it is, I'm not going to put a date on it. But oh, sorry about that. 8 years. Yeah, oops. I said 6. It's close. I don't have anything in front of me. So yeah, Russia just pulled an $88 billion reserve fund. I don't believe that was the money they had in the petrodollar. I would love to see. I'm sure that fund is, you know, 2.2 or 2.3 trillion dollars. I mean, I'm pretty certain that's going to be at least $800 billion situation. And one of the things I learned from my larger or friends that have more money is that when the billionaires and the millionaires trade, they get a standard across the board of what their trading money is. You and I got to deal with basically, you know, the different currencies and what they're worth. Well, when you get up past about a couple 100,000, they start giving you a fine line as to what your money is worth. And an 88 billion reserve fund, I was told, would pretty much be that across the board. Whether it's rubles, whether it be US dollars, whether it be euros, I could be wrong. I'm sure it's all quite close. You know, unless you're talking yen or yuan, then that's quite different. But basically, you know, you say, hey, I want to move this money here, and at this rate, and you go, okay, or the person goes, okay, well, where are you moving from? The UK to Australia. And they say, you want that $88 billion reserve fund? Yep. Or that $88 billion reserve fund? You said yes. And then they basically just match the money dollar for dollar, cent for cent. Because I guess for them, hey, it's decent. That's what I've heard. I've never seen it, but, you know, Whenever anybody trades money and says, hey, Mark, you did that thing for me, if it pans out, I'll give you 100K, and I'll match it dollar for dollar so you ain't got to worry about, this and that and everything else. Uh, that's basically tax write-off to them. Giving us that kind of money, even like normal salaries to these guys, is pretty much a tax write-off. You know, and that's just kind of the way it is, I guess. And I think this is something we're gonna keep watching. The original story was, ooh, is this a declaration of war from Russia? No, 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 I don't think so. I think that this is just a sign of the times. I don't want to say World War III on this one, but it's going to get close before it gets better. There was 634 point drop in the Dow Jones Industrial, and what that generally means is that you and I ain't never going to feel that hit because we never had that much invested. But CNBC, all their billionaire playboys and playgirls, and all their mansions, and all their metal stocks and everything else, those guys took a hit. Those guys called up their investors and say, hey, what'd you guys do? And they have to say, well, Russia pulled from the petrodollar. And all those guys get together, they call up their union guy or their group person who calls up NATO and says, hey, you guys got to stop Russia. I just lost, $77 million in 3 transactions this week. Let me talk to the active commander who's on assignment today. When are you guys going to start moving into Crimea and start stabilizing this economy? And, that jump starts the other thing. Basically, you start losing money. People go, well, Russia has resources. We want those resources. I can't be losing $100 million a week because of sanctions that aren't going well.